I love you, Jerry Jones. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I don't know what I would do without you. You just make me laugh. You make me smile. You make me jealous. You make me happy. Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Do I have to say that, Coca? Is Jerry Jones the sort of guy that everyone has heard of? I don't think non sports people have heard of Jerry Jones, actually. But he is making the rounds, man. And when he makes the rounds, I am here for it. He went on a podcast with Michael Irvin. I mean, who's kidding who? He was talking about what would you think that Jerry Jones would be the first thing that he'd want to talk about when he gets on a show? Yeah, you'd be right. He's talking about Micah Parsons. Remember Micah Parsons? Still not around, still not signed. Boy, oh boy, did Jerry Jones have some stuff to talk about. I got to quote him two ways, and then we're going to laugh together. Just two quotes from Jerry. Here we go. One, nobody appreciates Micah Parsons more than the Cowboys or me. Let's start there, Jerry. I love talking in finality. I love that. I love when you think as an owner or team president or a GM that you have a love for a player, respect for the player, that player doesn't get anywhere else. And we've got just the ego to believe that's true. Trust me, it's not true. I know a lot of people who appreciate Micah Parsons more than you do. That's number one. Next, nobody has offered him more money than I have to play football, period. Well, that's funny. He's a Cowboy. The only way someone would have offered him more money is total tampering, T squared. So far, we don't have a great quote. Because yes, nobody appreciates Micah more than Jerry Jones. Wrong. Nobody's offered Micah Parsons more money than Jerry Jones. Right. What's the big deal? This podcast appearance isn't that meaningful. Then he kept going. I've agreed to give more money than has ever been given in terms of guaranteed money than anyone ever has as far as a defensive player. Of course, he means not more than Deshaun Watson's 230, but what he means is he was willing to have Micah Parsons set the record. Guaranteed money. Not fully guaranteed, guaranteed at signing. Then Jerry said, I've done that. Now, I am the cat that writes the check. That makes me laugh because A, he's not a cat, B, he's not a that. He's a person and a who. But we go on. Now, Micah's got 3 years with the Cowboys left. He's got 3 years. At some point, somebody has to have the say over the other. At some point, it has to be that way. Can we stop there, Coca? You hear what Jerry Jones is saying? I want to make sure you have that. At some point, somebody has to have the say over the other. Now, there are people who will say that sounds awfully right to the edge of master servant. But it's not. In every negotiation, in every relationship, it doesn't matter that it's sports or if it's business or if it's personal. You find me a relationship where at some point it never gets to one person has the advantage over the other, one person has the say over the other. Find me a business where two people are 50-50 and there's never a tiebreaker and it works. Find it. It doesn't exist. There are plenty of 50-50 businesses out there, and guess what? It's the worst idea ever. Everyone in business knows that you've got to have someone who has the final say at one point or another. Otherwise, discussions never end. This is not Jerry Jones trying to exert power over players, power to the people. None of that. It's Jerry Jones saying, hey, I'm the owner. I'm offering you money, the most guaranteed money for a defense player anyone's ever had. You don't want to take it? Don't take it. You do want to take it? Take it. There's also a little nugget in there when he says that he's going to be a Cowboy for 3 more years. He said Micah's got 3 years left with the Cowboys. Micah Parsons said to himself, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. I only have a 1-year contract. And then Micah's agent said, Micah, you can get franchise tagged for 2 years. OMG. Was Jerry Jones just threatening on Michael Irvin's podcast that if Micah Parsons doesn't agree, then he at the number that the Cowboys want, then he's just going to play, hold out, not play, and then tag him, which delays your free agency and your ability to go somewhere else? You better not be scrubbing your social media, my friend. You better not. And then Jerry Jones continued. Look at all the great nuggets he gave here. He then said, when we wanted to send the details to the agent of the offer he's talking about that he made to Micah, the agent told us to stick it up our ass. I wanted to just be very clear when agents have said that to me in the past that I've never heard that someone, when they say take the offer. I've heard the expression, shove it up your tuchus. I get it. I don't understand the practical part of that because, that doesn't interest me. But when you make an offer to a player, we've made some very undermarket offers in our time. And I never once had an agent say, stick it up your keister. What I've heard is that, hey, that's probably not going to get it done. Okay, thank you. That's a very nice start. Or, wow, we're so far off, I don't think I can counter. I've heard them all. Never stick it up your keister. Now, I don't believe Jerry because Jerry told me, 4869. Jerry told us he doesn't speak to agents. Remember when Jerry Jones said, Micah Parsons has an agent? I don't care about agents. Agents are useless. They don't help ever. Forget it. We talk only to the player. Well, I'm very confused. If you only talk to the player and you don't talk to the agent, how could the agent tell you to shove the offer up your, where the sun don't shine? Or did you do the right thing and send the offer to the agent, which you're supposed to do as a GM? Owners, man, they go right to the player. Owners, you can't control them. You can only hope to contain them. But GMs, they do the right thing. Every time, all the time. They deal with agents. Jerry Jones wasn't finished. He said, where's the least important part of the whole equation that we're talking about? It's the attorney or the agent, okay? He works for Micah. We've heard Jerry talk about his disdain and contempt for agents. We've heard a lot of owners talk that way. And I get it, having dealt with agents for 18 years and having an agent now and just dealing with what it is to have agents. I get it. But guess what? They've got a job to do, and they're damn good at it. And as much as I sit around and criticize Scott Boras for being an absolute blowhard and for not representing his clients when it doesn't suit his purposes, he is the exception, not the rule. And I'm not going to throw out the baby with the bathwater and tell you that Scott Boras ruins it for all agents and therefore you shouldn't like any of them. Not the case. Nor am I going to tell you that it is inappropriate for a team to deal with the agent because you have to. It is the right way. Of course, we'd like to do deals with players directly, but it is not the way to do business. And it's a small world out there. The sports world is small. You don't do something to violate it. Jerry Jones thinks he's well above everything. You give him a $12 billion valuation and you make himself the GM, and all of a sudden, I don't have to speak to agents. I can't stand agents. Of course he's speaking to agents. Don't be ridiculous. What, is he the only GM in football who doesn't speak to agents? It's out of the question. Where does this end? Because you know that Jerry Jones is doing this for the sole purpose of media, for the sole purpose of continuing to have attention on his team off the field because they're so bad on the field, which must mortify him. And, well, you know what, Coca? It doesn't mortify him at all. As a matter of fact, Jerry Jones is so okay with losing because of all the things that come with losing, like the franchise value going up and all the attention the Cowboys get. So okay with how it's gone with his team that they did a documentary about it.